Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Surrounded Duel between Cpt.MacTavish playing as 6Y and he's going up against Ben Gvitler playing as 119Y. So we'll go through the deck reviews, then we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments and the game. As always, timestamps in the description. Right, so this is the deck review for Cpt.MacTavish. He's playing 6Y. 6Y got nerfed in this patch. This game was played just before the patch, I believe, so that's why it says 48 out of 50, because there used to be a MiG-31M here. The division without the MiG-31 is still really good, so there's nothing to be obsessed about. All you do is you just replace it with more MiG-21 BIS AA, and you always use these in pairs. I've seen people 2-vet them. Don't really see the point in that, because they're not that good, so I think it'd be better to just have 8. And yeah, the top players on 6Y were bringing both cards of this anyway, and the MiG-31. So the idea now is, yeah, you open up with your urns, and the MiG-21 BIS AAs, you know, some T-55s, right, at 2-vet, that's all good. The RT gameplay's kind of changed as well. I don't know if this is useful now, it probably still isn't. There's now a case to be made for bring in 4 of these, because there's a good chance they're going to die with the artillery changes. Obviously it's still a work in progress, but what we've got right now is self-propelled guns and towed guns have the same pack times and unpack times and all this. So yeah, what you would do is leave these at max range, and the chances are that nobody will actually be able to hit you unless they've got their own heavy arty, but you might actually want to bring 4 now, not to have 4 out on the field at once, but just in case you lose one, you can buy another one. Typically it would be like 2 Giatsins and then 4 like 105s, yeah, because what you would do, right, and I suppose you could still do it like this, because this is a howitzer, yeah. I should do a video on this. I've just been so busy and kind of lazy. Anyway, so you buy one of these, or a mortar, right? But you buy this and you start shooting things, and you make sure you've got 1 or 2 of these at the back on, or, you know, you can bring them reasonably close up, and you just put them on counter battery, you know, in the bottom right, you just put them on automatic counter battery. Or you can look yourself. It's better to look yourself, because otherwise they'll just, if a mortar's shooting, they'll shoot the mortar. But the point is, this will be firing, somebody will try to counter battery it, right? And then you whack them with this and kill their things, kill their artillery, and then move this. So this is a sacrificial unit, and that's why, yeah, that is how I would be doing this now, and that's how I do it on all my divs, or at least most of them. So if you know, it might change again, but that's how it works now. So I'm giving you the current details. You really want the MMG teams or something, because like you don't have any sort of suit. I suppose this is kind of cheap, but how do you hold a flank? Could hold it with a BMP-1, I suppose, but yeah. So you could get rid of this. That gives you 3 AP at the loss of 2 tanks. I appreciate that this can survive a 30 AP missile and this can't, but having 1 extra tank in the card is probably more useful. And this can survive a 30 AP missile as well, so you might want to get rid of this, because then you still have 8 heavy tanks and 4, whatever you want to call them, lights or mediums. I suppose it's a light tank in terms of doctrinal use, right? I appreciate it weighs a lot. There's always somebody. Anyway, and then you've got this for flank defense and just sort of padding things out. Super, super useful unit. If there was a grenade launcher one, I'd bring it, but there isn't. So that's what I would change. I think the rest of it's all good. Yeah, so these are really funny at sending around the sides, or you can use this to give your tanks exceptional optics. You know, you put it with your tanks and they get exceptional optics. But yeah, this is a nice card, so upvet that Igler, because like, look how much AA you've got. It's pretty crazy, right? It's a shame not being able to fill this. So like, if you really didn't want those PKM teams, for example, you could get 4 Escortinis. They're actually pretty funny because you just whack people with the max range rockets and then go back, and they basically there's not much they can do about it. It's very funny. So just something to consider, right? But yeah, all the other key parts are there. Five CVs. It's a bit on the low side. I appreciate that this is the cheap one that you can get out at the start, and you can do that if you want. But if you need more CVs, obviously you would swap this one out for this. In fact, I'd do that anyway. Right, so this is fast, okay. But you're buying 2 of these at the start anyway, so you don't need the fast CV. So you might as well get this, because it's cheaper and it's armoured, so it'll survive. You know, 1 howitzer round and this thing's dead, so... Yeah, and you're going to buy 2 of these at the start anyway. And if you need more CV, swap this out for the BMP 1K3, and then you've got 6, because 5 is really like the lowest you should be going. Yeah, his opponent, Ben Gvitler or something, playing 119Y. The Burrito I wouldn't bother with. It's just, until they fix this reload time and this supply cost, it's just not really worth it. The Gvozdikas are useful now. I don't know what the Vasilek's like now. Might actually be good. Do need to try that. But it only comes on this division and 35Y, so... But yeah, maybe it's good now. And yeah, like this can be your sacrificial piece, and then this is your actual counter battery piece. And yeah, this can smoke, because you have a smoke mortar, so like you could theoretically do that. Or you could just save the 2 AP. Or you could try the Vasilek at close range. It's probably quite good. Like, actual 81, 82mm mortars actually do damage now. And so this thing having a rate of fire of 57 rounds a minute is probably going to actually be quite good. It's just, it has to be shooting at the same place over and over. Because if it has to turn, it doesn't fire as fast. I think. Anyway. So yeah, either that, or 2 more of these, and then yeah, this would be a sacrificial, and these would be a counter battery, if that makes sense. I would try the Vasilek, see how that goes. Yeah, that's all good. That's all good. Okay. Don't really have too much else to say. Oh, yeah, I mean... Just bring this instead, you get 2 of it. It's actually really powerful because of how far away the bombs drop. And this is probably just going to die. So I would get this. And honestly, like, what's the seed for? It's for protecting your 1 bomber. Doesn't make sense really, does it? So you could probably get rid of that, and then you could... Okay, the infantry's all there. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't bother with these guys. I appreciate that they've got very nice anti-tank, but you don't get enough infantry, really, to justify bringing them, in my opinion. Although, what else would you bring? More sappers? I probably don't need those. Yeah, okay, you do you. Maybe it's a good idea. 3 cards of supply. I mean, we're not bringing the burrito now, so you don't need that 3rd one. And then... Well, I suppose now you could come back to... You could get loads of helis if you want, or you could just come back to this and do that, and then, you know, now the seed's protecting 3 bombers, which makes sense. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. But yeah, the burrito, sooner or later they're going to have to reduce the supply cost and this reload time, at which point it probably become useful again. But for now, it's just a complete waste of time. And it's like, oh, if I get it to a town, what do I do? You use the Spetsnaz and you drive around the sides of the town and shoot them with your tanks, right? Or you just buy these, both of these at once, with the seed out in front. Carpet bomb the town, sending the infantry to polish off whoever's left. Anyway, let's cast the game. Right, so with that out of the way, 119Y we see a little bit less frequently these days. Still just as strong as it used to be. It's just there's so many divisions, right? And it requires a little bit of finesse on the execution. 6Y got nerfed. It doesn't get this anymore. This was played just before the patch, I believe. So just pretend this isn't here. You wouldn't actually, even before the change, you wouldn't want to open MiG-31B anyway. You would open 2 times MiG-21 bis AA, because this is too, what's the word? Hit and miss, RNG based. There's a better word. It doesn't spring to mind. My mental faculties have been attrited through too much Warno. Unreliable. That was the word. So, yeah, just pretend that's not here. Apart from that, I don't think anything else has changed with these divisions in the patch, apart from the general kind of arty meta, which I discussed extensively in the deck review. So, you know, you should watch that if you actually want to learn something. So, in terms of the map, the 119Y player should really just be defending hard and just grinding it out. So he doesn't want to play wide. I appreciate the idea. It's like, oh, yeah, but you've got tanks, so you should come over here and be a tank. Not really, because you don't have the long-range AA to protect said tanks from the MiG-21 BIS clusters. And so what you want to do is make sure the enemy doesn't take Gregory at the start, because that's your zone. And just set up here, just outside of Dimitri, and just get the tanks out, send it forwards, kill something, send it back. Send it forwards, kill something, send it back. That's how you use heavy tanks. The whole point of them is that they can survive a couple hits before they die. And so in order for them to pay for themselves, given how expensive they are, they need to be constantly engaged, constantly dishing out damage, basically, doing what they're designed to do. So you want to play narrow and get all the Tunguskas back. MiG-21 BIS will come in and it will kill your TAEU, which is what you should be opening, not opening with, but that's the first heavy tank you should be buying, or the T-80 BVK command one, right? And the point is you make sure that dies. You make sure that that doesn't get out. And once you've killed all four of them, then the game is, you know, it's kind of hard to lose. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, looking at the deployments, he's opened MiG-29 because he's expecting helicopters. You can't really contest 6Y in the air at the start. If he has two MiG-21 BIS AA, they should beat a MiG-29. Unless you're fighting over your AA, which you haven't bought any of, which is really unintelligent. And he's actually rushing. He's rushing straight into the 6Y opener. So hopefully, I mean, you know, maybe the Americans will bail him out again, but this is not a good idea. So yes, lots of Spetsnaz OP, some Razvedka Saperi, one CV, oh no, two. Okay, you've done this wrong as well. It should be, the MTLB should be here, and it goes Fedor Gregory. And the second one should be over here, and it goes center, and then maybe Dimitri if you can get in there, right? Because otherwise, it's just less optimal. You're not going to cap center for ages, so yeah. Spetsnaz, yeah, a couple TO-55s. It's not a good deployment. His opponent has done much better. So we got the two cheapo CVs. Yes, he understands Boris, Anna, and then Elena, then maybe Dimitri, but you know, it depends how far you get. And he recognizes the power of the Spetsnaz. 4 adders is not really what you want to do. Usually it would be, you know, 2 adders and 2 urns, because they've got the rockets on them and the autocannon. The adder actually deals more damage than an autocannon with 4 PKTs, which is honestly ridiculous and they need to fix it, but it is what it is. Yeah, 1 Lustum Jaeger Metis, couple Spetsgrupper, couple T-55s, Saperis, couple of these Toad AA guns for anti-infantry. And yeah, the 6Y player also wants to play attritional and just it's a lot easier to execute the 6Y strategy. You just sort of make sure he doesn't take counter at the start, and then you play kind of more attritional in the early game before the T-80Us and UD start rolling out. Try and push as hard as you can with like 4 2-vet T-55s. Of course, they'd be going into 4 2-vet TO-55s. But your T-64 BVs, T-64s will come out, T-80B, right? They'll come out a lot earlier. The BMP-1 PG spam in mid is crazy because the grenade launchers just kill all the infantry. It's very funny. So yeah, let's cast the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners. Generously joiner in the channel, they get their names on the screen, they get their videos early, they get members exclusive videos. One join at the lowest levels with 2,000 views. If you're feeling bad about your ad block, it's a great way to support the channel. That's why you open 2 MiG-21 BIS AA instead of 1 MiG-31B. because you might have actually died there if you just hit another missile. I appreciate the fact that, you know, you didn't hit any missiles on him, but you've got 40% accuracy and he's got 20% ECM, so the main thing with the MiG-31, obviously this deck doesn't get it anymore. Berlin Red gets it, Berlin Gropers, Berlin Baldur's Gate, whatever you want to call it. Don't blob these so much, right? There should be one here killing the ones on this road, you know, and so on, right? And don't right-click, just use the attack move order, because it basically doesn't work properly, right? The right-click orders just look, that, yeah, do you see the problem? Do you see the problem? And, okay, that's a massive overcommittal on air. So don't buy your own fighter in response to this, because you won't win. Just play on the ground. He's literally just spent 2 minutes income on planes. Well, this must be the one from before, or like he had the second one, or what? Because he's only received 1 minute's income since the game started, and that was this, presumably, so... So yeah, you just buy the book. Yeah, exactly, right? Don't play their game, if it makes sense, right? I should probably do a video on that. The issue I've got is whenever I say I should probably do a video on that, there are people watching who will just make a video on that, and then, I mean, obviously they have agency, right? But maybe I shouldn't be telling people how to beat me. So, yeah, jets aren't so good at killing helicopters anymore. I played against 101st Airborne the other day, see, right, and that has to go home now. It's like, yeah, but it didn't die, right, but it's not going to be on the field for about 8 to 9 minutes, which means it's dead for that time. And, you know, you really got to think like an economist. Economists, of course, are the most disgusting people. Well, I suppose Zionists are probably worse. Yeah, they are. But anyway, the point is that you got to think in terms of rates of doing things and the concept of opportunity cost, right? If you buy something and it's not doing anything, it might as well, you know, it's a waste of money. Basically, that's how economists see it. So if you shoot that plane and it's not there for 9 minutes, it is effectively dead for 9 minutes, right? That's the outcome. And so he's buying what exactly? Where's all the points going? This was less than 1 minute's income. He's not spending his points. So the point I was going to make is that if you're buying ground units, here we go, and your opponent is buying fighters and you're wounding the fighters but not killing them, then you're going to get a big boost on the ground. And you can see that here. You can see it quite clearly. Blue is winning because he's just got more stuff here. Because red keeps buying planes. Whereas the anti-plane costs less than the plane, which means you can get another one of these out. That's 2 more units. So red being a bit cheeky here with the CV. Blue just needs to react, put this in, send the BTR 60 PBs to check it out. Send this to check it out. Still got 6 rockets. Bit of an overextension from blue. Didn't bring any igglers, and so this helicopter's killing all his guys. I don't understand where blue's points went, though. I don't think he's spending his income properly. Oh, no, I see. This was the 2 minutes income. So that's another big thing. If you get income and you're not spending it, an economist would also get upset about you over that as well. Because you could be doing something more productive with that resource, such as gambling it on the stock market. This is not financial advice, but in the Warno sense, right? If you're not spending your income, and I'm spending my income, well, the state of play at minute 5 or whatever, where I've spent 2 minutes income and you've not, it's effectively like I've just killed 8 of your units, right? In that moment, 8 of your units that should be there aren't there. So what do you think's going to happen? If I've got 8 more units than you and I'm using them, well, I'm going to win, right? So it makes sense when you say it like that, but people don't think of it like that, and so that's obviously where I come in. So yeah, blue doesn't have... Sorry, red doesn't have that many units because he keeps buying fighters. Yeah, he keeps buying fighters. So yeah, if your enemy overcommits on fighters, just buy AA and hunker down, right? Because the AA is so much cheaper. You know, if he's like super far ahead on kills, then yeah, he will have more planes than you have AA, but that's because you've just made loads of mistakes somewhere. So you shouldn't have more planes than you have AA, because the planes cost more, right? And you tend to get less of them. Obviously the book's 2 per card, but most planes are 2 per card, right? And most AA is more than 2 per card. The book is the exception because of how absurdly strong it is. So yeah, you can learn these things just by like playing loads. There's people who kind of, you know, you get it intuitively, but if somebody explains it to you, you can just skip that whole, or at least most of that. What's going on here? How has Red managed to take this? So Blue not really using his units, right? He needs some igglers. So these guys, you can just load them back in, right? And oh, don't evac that way. Well, okay, you got it, right? Good. But you want to evac this way, so if you come in, right? So you Shift, T, click, right click over here, and V with Shift pressed. It'll come in, drop the bombs, or you know, if you can actually see, just right click it, right? Shift, right click, and then right click over here. And as soon as the bombs have dropped, it'll take the move order, and then it'll evac. So that's dead now, presumably. It's got smoke, but I don't think he's noticed. He's just pressing the wrong button there. Smoke would have saved him. So, yeah, you know, obviously the heli killed you last time, right? So what do you think's going to happen if you walk back into it? You do need the igglers, because they can get in closer. Because they can hide in the buildings with their exceptional stealth. Right, and they're more maneuverable than this, which only has good stealth and is very slow. It is a good thing to have here, because it can shoot at the infantry. The igglers can't do that, but you need igglers here. So, bit of an overbuy on the AA, could probably do without the ZPU-4s. Get the rest of the T-55As. Get some recon. Like, what? I've just noticed that. There's literally no recon here. Where's the Spetsgrupper? They're really good. Yeah. Need some recon. Because you can't see anybody until they shoot you. So, worried about seed, I guess. That's why the guns are switched off. Guns better against helos. It can't fire both at once anyway, which is really dumb. Apparently that's realistic, but... I mean, do you remember when 6Y fought 119Y on a hill in Germany? Where they had to capture these things. You remember when that happened in 1989? Yeah. No, right? Okay, so... So why can't Mike Tunguska shoot both guns at once? It's not realistic. Okay, okay. Well, it's not realistic as you being put in charge of an army group, given how utterly retarded you must be to hold viewpoints like that. But I'm a reformed individual, so I won't say that. So, Blue had the advantage here, but he kind of blew it. And now, Red's reformed a lot. And what happened was the helicopter came in and he just didn't have an answer for it. And all his guys died or had to fall back, which gave Red time to stabilize. So, it's easy to say, like, well, look, you should have had AA there. And that is true. But this is one of those things you just learn by playing loads. Because you obviously know it instinctively. Well, you know it now, having thought about it, but the instincts at the time, there was just no Igler there. Whereas if you'd had one Igler in that mix, you know, is he focusing the AA? No, he's going for the helicopter. So that, I mean, those MiG-21 bis AA that you have 4 of in your deck, and the MiG-21 bis rockets, the purpose of those is to send them out in front of that cluster thing, so that it doesn't die. Because it's a lot more expensive. It's a much more powerful tool. So you use them as sacrifices. Sacrificial artillery. Sorry, sacrificial planes. I was just looking at the artillery. This was played before the artillery rework. Discussed in the deck review how you would change the loadouts to match the new paradigm, which seems to be sort of sacrificial light artillery. You can use mortars for that as well. With heavy guns at the back, just sat on counter battery. Or well, you don't even put them so far back. And that seems to work quite well. I should do a video on that. I don't know if I'm going to have time today. Yeah. What's the mindset here? You've got all this infantry. I'm going to move it forwards. It dies. Okay. I'm going to move it forwards, it dies. I'm going to move it forwards, it dies. Well, maybe change your approach a little bit. You know, this building's full of dead people. You go stand there again, what's going to happen? So, yeah, at this point, you'd really expect some recon, so that you can see the things before they kill all his infantry. Fastest thing you can do in that situation is land, but like, you just shouldn't have sent those forwards, because the Tunguska's killed his MiG-21 bis, so he knows those are around. But yeah, Blue really doing his best to throw what would have been an easy win. He just keeps walking into bullets. Look, he's doing it again. Shoot me, shoot me. Very strange behaviour. So yeah, you can't really do stuff like this anymore, which you used to be able to, but at the very least, like this MTLB you would send back to the Jiasen, which you can still do, but... yeah, so Red's got a pretty good chance of coming back now, because Blue's really done his best to throw this. And Red's got the burrito in his deck. So as you can see, all of Blue's infantry's dead now, because he just walked into gunfire and died. Over and over and over again until he ran out of infantry. And, and all Red's been doing is sitting there, which is exactly what he should be doing, actually. We discussed that at the start. He should be sitting there and buying lots of AA, and then lots of heavy tanks with the infantry in front. Nice amounts of recon, right? The Spets Razvedka, which get the ground surveillance radar. I think it's those ones. Or is it Spetsnaz Guru? I believe you get a ground surveillance radar one. And just kills, 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 kills. For the 119Y player, that's what it's all about. You can trade space for kills. And then eventually you just win on... I have all these heavy tanks, you can't kill them anymore because I killed all your MiG-21 bis clusters. And Blue's really obliging Red as much as possible by just walking into him and dying over and over again. What's he going to buy next? Oh, he's finally bought a tank that can probably do something about these TO-55s, but... So, oh, I got shot here, so now I need to walk back in there and die again. One wonders what is going on. What is the thought process there? What he needs is some recon, because he's getting shot by a bunch of things he can't see. That's what's happening here. You probably can't see any of this. So you'd want to split the volley here, shoot about half and then stop. Okay, enjoy your 288-second reload. In exchange for killing one Saperiapio. Yes. No recon, so he doesn't see that before it shoots him. Recon's here, but can't actually see that. You know, there's no LOS on that, so at least there wasn't. It's like there, right? So Red's doing his ebbing counter-attack without any recon. And, oh, he's got a little bit. He needs more, really. Is he gonna smoke this, or... No, he's just sat there getting shot. Okay. These don't have smoke. And it makes sense to bring them if you're not going to use smoke anyway, right? Sometimes you've just got to be honest with yourself, right? There are certain strats which are kind of easier to execute than others. Don't bother paying extra for smoke if you're never going to use it. Right, don't play high micro divs if you don't have high micro. So Seed's coming now. Is he gonna switch it off in time? No, he's just gonna get shot. Oh, he won with the power of friendship. Oh, yeah, now switch it back on. Yeah. So you want it hotkeyed, really, and it should be moving, otherwise it's gonna... Oh, wow. It's actually moving it into the RT. So Red's turn to throw. Lots of infantry walking forwards without recon, so it can get shot. At least he doesn't have... At least they don't have the auto covered switched on. Because on this map you want to be hiding behind the buildings, the individual buildings. But Blue's winning because the tank got sniped by Artie, I suppose. So some recon has been purchased. This is the issue with opening 4 adders and losing them all. Now you don't have a recon helo for the rest of the game. That's why it's better to only open like 2, basically. And red's gonna attack over here. That's not... Like, you can do it, it's just that's not what your div's good for. One of these should also be a BRDM2 Conquers, because that can actually shoot. Like, this one sees, this one shoots, that sort of thing. Like, this doesn't make any sense. You want to be fighting under your AA net and buying those heavy tanks out, which he's not bought any of. I suppose he had the command tank. So yeah, that Mi-24V, because like, he knows that... Well, he doesn't know this is here. His units are automatically shooting. Now it's gone wah, wah, he'll know that it's there, I hope. But obviously there's some severe paint licking going on in this gameplay here, so... Yeah, so you want to put this back, right? Because otherwise he's just going to keep shooting you. Not sure what happened there. I guess he lost vision. So, yeah, you know, send the helo, right? Do something. These are just on the... Okay, at least he unloaded those in time. Next wave of shit to walk in and die. No reaction to this situation. Right, I mean, yes, this is coming, but you know you can just load these back in and move them over here, and they'll obviously get there a lot faster than this. And, you know, you could send over the rocket helo. Because, you know, there's no AA here because you use your rocket plane and it didn't get shot. This guy can hide behind this house so he doesn't die. You know, they all seem like minor things, but they add up very, very quickly. That's just the way RTS games work. Proper ones, anyway. Broken Arrow doesn't. But the idea is, you know, if you've got... It's a 1v1 and you're getting 1 new unit a minute. Well, if I win the 1v1, then next minute I've got 2 units and you've got 1. It's going to be a lot more easy to win that 1v1. And then I'm going to have 3 units and you're going to have 1. Then I'm going to have 4 units and you're going to have 1. The issue, of course, is as people get more units, they get worse and worse at controlling them, which is what you can see here. It's just lots of units not stood around not doing anything, right? Not really being used effectively. Bought this recon like 5 minutes ago, it's still not been deployed. It's just sat there. And so them's the breaks, as it were. One way to rectify that is by blobbing, because you know you've got 5 units and you only have to order 1 basically, because they're all doing the same thing. So that's why blobbing is so popular. That, and there are very few anti-blob tools in this game, because they keep getting nerfed. These need to move now. You know he's been targeting your AA. Oh, he moved 2 of them, but he left the one that he should get. Okay. They should have a recon with it, right? The BRDM2 wheeled ones, I believe he brings in his deck. I think one of them brings that, and the other one brings a BR... Oh, there's a BRM1K. So yes, blobbing is a strategy that, you know, helps reduce micro and so on. At least he switched his AA off and on again there, that was good. He's moving it. It's obviously a bit late now, but... Because this was from the previous thing, not from that seed. And yeah, when you send the seed out, you really don't want to just fling it over the middle of the map and watch it die. You want to sort of come in from an angle and just sort of skim the edge of the enemy AA net, because if they're toggling their AA or whatever, they'll shoot only 1 missile at you, and then if you get unlucky it'll hit you, right? Which tends to happen to me. And then you only get hit once, so you don't die. Whereas if you just fly straight in, you're exposing yourself to all the AA at once, and you're just gonna die. It's not intelligent gameplay, it's just a bad idea. So, once again, the AA isn't really in position. Burrito, anti-blob, it's gonna kill that Igler. Oh no, he gets out of the way there. So yeah, I think both of these players are pretty similar in skill level. Yeah, like, you know, you bought the recon, right? Sort of forgot. don't eat before you just automatically evac here. I suppose, I mean, this isn't going to shoot, right? But, like, that wouldn't have happened if he'd come this way. He might still die to this. No, he gets out, but that's like 5 minutes down now, whereas usually it's like a 2-minute reload. They keep changing that one. I think it might be a 4-minute reload, but either way. Oh, there it is. So he's taking it off the road, so it'll go slower. It's really, really something. As you can see, it goes slower off the road, so he took it off the road there, so it'll take longer to get there. I think N is the hotkey you want to use. The close ranges that you'd expect the MiG-31 to lose, but with two of them, the thing is, like, the missile fires them all really fast, but the accuracy doesn't go up with decreased range because it's where's he going? Because it's fire and forget. Whereas the Cyclops one, I think the closer you get, the more the accuracy goes up. If there's somebody in here who's going to kill you, right? Somebody with an AT, so you don't want to drive there. You want to sort of come in at the back and go in this way. Or you said the BRDM2 first, so that takes the hits. You know, checks if there's anybody there. More not moving books. So losing your books, really bad news. Like, the game's all to play for because both players are doing their absolute best to give me a hernia, right? So, yeah, I mean, Red can still win, but to be honest, he's not really got any units left, so he's got a bunch here, but he's playing it wrong, right? I mean, he's like, I'm going to attack on the flanks. Well, that's not... You should defend on the flanks. Defending's easier than attacking, right? Certainly taking this back, but you should be trying to grind one area if you're 119Y. If you're 6Y, you should be attacking on the flanks, really, because your div has more width to it, so you would benefit from that, especially if you're bringing this unit and your opponent isn't. There should just be 2 of those around the sides. Coming in for this. You know, you could just go all the way, because bad players don't defend their flanks, and frankly, good players don't half the time either, because they want to take the risk so that they can have 1 extra unit on the front line. Right, I believe they call it hubris. But yeah, you just get around the sides and just kill this with the BRDM2. So Red, at least he's sort of bringing it back to mid. But yeah, something like this needs a lot of protection around it. Same with this, otherwise the plane just comes in and kills it. But yeah, Blue just doesn't want to use half of his units. So they're just going to sit there. But yeah, like I said, it's kind of like a it's like a soft comeback mechanic, I guess you could say. So, since the patch, that wouldn't really work anymore. I was playing a game against 101st Airborne, and I lost because I kept trying to strafe the planes, the helos, and they just weren't dying, so... So yeah, Red's still on that +1. But yeah, Blue just not using half his units. Basically, blobbing, it's not the most optimum way to play, because obviously if you get side shots and stuff, then you win. But it's a lot more optimum than not spending your points and not using your units. So you just got to be honest with yourself, right? Was there something there, or was that just where the missile hit? I think it was just where the missile hit. So don't be too afraid of blobbing. I mean, the best players blob because it allows them to just melt enemy units really quickly. Obviously, it's a suboptimal strategy to being slightly dispersed. Side shots are so useful in this game. And now you need to move all the... Great, he's getting the memo. And so, yeah, you've got this in here, so once the infantry gets in, you move the UAS in. Igla's actually in the right place. It's taken 25 minutes, but there it is. And, you know, once you get to low cohesion, unless you really need to, like, you really need to keep vision on something so that your fire support can kill. As soon as you get low cohesion, you're probably not going to do too much damage anyway, so you should just get out of the building, hide right behind it. And, yeah, this is doing what it was made to do, which is just sit there and plink. Needs some recon though, right? He's not got any front. You need screening forces for this tank, because if you just sort of run forwards, you might get side shot. Obviously, his opponent has a really dumb army composition with no AT here, but yes, this is another issue. Oh wow, they didn't die. It's interesting. Yeah, they keep nerfing that plane. It used to be like two 500s to 250s, or like four 500s or something, and then two 500s to 250s. I'm talking about payloads. And yeah, if a jet's coming for you and you don't have time to get out of the way, you want to face it directly. Because as you can see, like if he misses the first missile, you'll actually get past him, and then he can't shoot you for a little bit, and that might give you the time you need. You need to move these now. Oh, no, okay, at least he's doing it. So, US should come back in. Red kind of out of ideas, he's just sort of wasted all his limited infantry by playing too wide. And Blue really tried his absolute best to lose this game, but it didn't take, so... it looks like Blue's gonna do it. I don't know, he might drive into the fire here and die. This is not financial advice. So, yeah, +1 for Blue. 12 minutes left. Still got the MiG-31s up. And you get some nice, you just immediately evac. Or you could leave one up. Just, it's only got one missile, but it's one extra missile if a plane tries to kill you. Or you can just evac them. Anyway, there's the surrender. So, yeah, it was an interesting game. I thought the players were fairly evenly matched. Right, so we got rank 2,283, which was lower than I thought it was, to be honest. And rank 511. So, yeah, you know, if the Americans just stop paying for these guys, this is what will happen. So, save your money. Anyway. I hope you learned something. And I hope you have a lovely day. GG.